So hello everyone and welcome back to Shadowrun Returns with Kide. And we were left to the scenario or mission 2 with the Dead Man Switch. So let us continue. Probably we'll be able to see a little bit more of the gameplay now than just the combat, at least I hope so. Kind of wonder, would be nice to be able to explore some more of these things a little bit closely, but at least I cannot really figure out the way to do so. Just have to look if there is anything that I can look. I'm in the back. Okay. So, I suppose I have to head into there. The smell of death and decomposition wash over you, only slightly masked by the minty fake rest of industrial grade antiseptic. Alright. Okay, there he is. The graphics are nice though. I like the graphics at least. So, hovering over the recently departed is a small dwarf whistling a tune. His proud grin says, "I love my job." A little more than you'd want or expect from someone in a shop trade. As you approach, he looks up with a long-sided grin. There's something kindly in his eyes, though it might just be a stray reflection of chrome and surgical tools. Sorry, didn't expect any visitors at this hour, and some asshole at corporate took my receptionist. What can I do for you, ma'am? Are you the coroner? I am Joe Tristan, the Orcan Grinder Pranks manager here. So yeah, that makes me this franchise area coroner too. And you are? Okay. No one you've heard of? Well, I probably kind of don't want to be telling my name, even though I am well, charismatic and all. I don't really want others to know my name, shadows and all, so no one you've ever heard of. Now tell me about Sam Watts. He fixes you with the hard gaze. Careful, friend, I can have Lone Star here in 2 minutes. Now what makes you think I'd know anything about Sam Watts? Sam had a locator chip embedded in his skull. I followed it here. I see. Well, you're right. He's here. Not too many people know about the murder yet, though. The press haven't caught wind of it yet, what with the being all the way out in the Barrens. So who told you he was dead? Sam did when his heart stopped. Was fired to a secure account in my name. I find the killer, I get paid. There goes. When his heart stopped, I got sent a recorded message asking me to bring his killer to justice. Guess he had a hunch. I suppose I'll be picking the second one. I don't think I want to be telling him how much money I would be getting from it. Really. Just like more like it's just a friend and I'm not really getting anything more about it than just for justice. Of course I want justice, even if Sam was only technologically deceived, but he was had a great influence that we didn't die that one night that we played earlier. So Sam's digital coast, when his heart stopped, I got sent a recorded message asking me to bring his killer to justice. Guess he had a hunch. The dwarf raises his eyebrows, a smile wiping the suspicion from his face. A dead man's switch, eh? Fascinating. I was working on him earlier. He's over here. Alright. Well, let's follow this crazy old or crazy dwarf. Alright. He's my second Emerald City Ripper victim. The third one was downtown. Ripper. Well, I suppose I could say this. It seems kind of like a classic, I suppose. Ripper, huh? I guess the classics never go out of style. He sighs. Not my title. That's what the Seattle press insists on calling the killer insists. All I know is that, like the original Jack, our Ripper knows how to handle a scalpel, but this one even more twisted. He or she always removes an internal organ from the victim. Interesting. So, what price did the Ripper take from Sam? It's probably the most appropriate for her to say. What's the liver was cleanly cut out? How about the other lucky contestants? Of course, I want to get more information. The first victim's heart was missing and the third had the spleen removed. Dresden, get out here! Alright, someone else came around. I'm here about the new Ripper with Sam Watts. I think I want to be looking into this before that guy is coming into here. Sam's body is half covered by a sterile surgeon sheet, his face an ashen white for the first time without a smirk on it. Below the chest there's a small pencil-thin incision covered in dried blood. Beyond that, the corpse is immaculate. It would seem that the killer knew exactly what they wanted from him and took it. Next to Sam are several plastic envelopes containing the evidence found on his body. You can examine evidence through the pack without spoiling it. Look at the business card. Moving things around, you can make out that it's a card from a place called the Seamstress Union. There is something handwritten on the back, but blood has made it legible. Look at the handwritten note, first of all. You can only see part of the note, given the torn off bits and blood stains. Sam, I feel terrible that we have been long to say I'm sorry. See you there, love, Jessica. So Sam had apparently met some love called Jessica, and they had had some kind of an argument at least. Say that I'm sorry. Look at the credit stick. It's a standard cheap unsecured credit stick. No way of knowing what's on it without slotting it. Okay. Now we have to decide if we are gonna take the credit stick or not, but I kind of think that it might be cheap unsecured credit stick. Well, if we really want to be able to find these things out. But aren't we honest in this kind of a manner? He kind of did show it to us pretty honestly, but it's more about I'm not really trusting the other fellow that was coming to look for Sam Watts, even if I would trust the doctor, so I'm gonna try to see about taking it and so that he wouldn't be able to see it. Take the You slot the credit stick into your PDA, $300 is added to your account. Okay, well, that was a nice way of getting a little bit of money to spend. Look at the purple shirt then. It's Sam's shirt. Several of the buttons are missing and blood has throughoutly soaked it. The back loses a bit in your hand. Shame. Put down. I don't think there's anything else I can really do in here though. So, I suppose I'll be heading into there then. It kind of looks that there's nothing going to be happening there that I have to go and talk into there, so suppose we're gonna be doing it then. So why aren't you asking about Sam? Oh, towering over the diminutive coroner is a homicide detective right out of Central Casting. If you ignore the task, pointed ears and natural pro, you can smell his sheep aftershave from a mile away. So this is new Ripper Wick, Watch. Name's familiar. Didn't his mother kill herself a while back? The coroner frowns. So you insisted at the time? He trolls. Come on, she offed herself. I hate I had it on a very good authority. Now let's go, Dresden. Give me something to work with here. This Ripper case is my ticket to a lieutenant's patch. So he's only looking forward to get advancements. I've already posted everything I know. The killer stuns the target with a combination of tracks and magic, then removes a single internal organ while they're still alive. The perpetrator is most likely right-handed with a slim hand that knows its way around a scalpel. He has a decent understanding of human and metahuman anatomy too. So a relatively intelligent individual. So, I'm looking for a rack-out surgeon. Not necessarily. I don't know any surgeons who still use scalpels anymore. These days it's all done with computer-controlled lasers. Could be anyone from a military field surgeon to an antique medicine aficionado. Aficionado. I'm not sure how to say that. You're no damn help, dwarf. The Lone Star detective finally notices you. You note his superhuman powers of observation. Superhuman powers of observation, okay. Who the hell are you? If I had strength, I could be saying something more interesting, but on the other hand, I don't know if I actually like it that we can see that we could be saying something like this if we had the strength. I would rather like it that, okay, we would know that we would be able to see something, some amount of score, then if we would be able to say it, but this way it's kind of well, I think it's a little bit annoying to see that kind of amount set there, that okay, there would be that possibility, but you can't say it and the score is given to you. So not really sure I like that. I'm the nobody who didn't hear nothing. I'm new in town. You're the welcoming committee. Are you the detective on this case? I was hired by some Watts to assist you in finding his killer. I don't really think that she would want to really be working with this detective as just. I would think that she would rather work on her own. As said that she likes the shadows, and I don't know if she really... he could be helpful, but I don't think that the last choice would be the right one, nevertheless. But this wouldn't be the right either, because that would be just like, well, dismissing die or a line or something like that. So I think this is the best one. I'm new in town. You're a welcoming committee. If you're new in town, then let me be the first to tell you that I run the show. If you get in my way, you'll end up back here on a slab. He looks back at the dwarf. Dresden, get me more. I'm putting someone in a cell or a box this week and claiming my promotion. Alrighty. Well, that was interesting enough. So let's talk again to Dresden then, I suppose. Dresden looks amused. Do you always make friends that easily? Yes, I was making friends very well. I'm great at dinner parties too. Well, because I can have friends, I would like to have some friends, but dinner parties too. But well, he didn't really seem like my type is the right answer, really. So, well, he didn't really seem like my type. He cocks his head to one side. Be straight with me, you're really gonna work for the dead man? Sam was there when I needed him. I'm going to return the favor. Job is job. I'm going to bring his killer to justice, at least treat justice. I'm not gonna be saying that because well, killing is the last option, but I did say that she does feel that the violence and just brutal wars is more barbaric than Tolkien ETC, so that's not the first choice of justice. So, but this is the case because he happened to be there And basically even that's the reason that I nevertheless had some... Well, that he was a friend to me, because even though he wasn't in every other way that, well, necessarily as intelligent and drank a lot etc, but he was still a friend. Sam was there when I needed him. I'm going to return the favor.
Fascinating again. Detective McLucky isn't interested in anything but Detective McLucky. He'd conflict his own matter if it meant another 10 noon a week in his paycheck. Plus he's on the take.
Dresden pauses, considering.
You have honor, after a fashion. I try to honor the dead in my work, so we have that in common.
Even if I dictate his money, but on the other hand, I'm gonna be keep using that money to help me to get to that guy. I'm sure that Sam would have been okay that I took the money that his buddy had left for that kind of a case.
What can I do to help you?
So, what options are there? Have you heard of Seamstress Union? Well, I think I want to be knowing about Sam's mother first because they just talk about it, so I'm of course curious about it. As said, she has a curious nature, so what was that McLucky said about Sam's mother?
The official report is that she committed suicide about a year ago.
Aren't you the official in that sentence? You don't buy that? Sounds like you disagree with the findings. Yeah, I think that she is pretty observant nevertheless, and I do think that she would feel that this guy wasn't really thinking the same way as the detective, so sounds like you disagreed with the findings.
My name's on the report, but my actual finding left some doubts. I can't say that it wasn't suicide, but there were unusual bruises on her upper arms, and she didn't use her dominant hand to pull the trigger. I was told to drop it, so I dropped it.
Alright, so... And because I read about the Seamstress Union in the card, I suppose I should be asking about that. Have you heard of the Seamstress Union?
It's nearby club near Parents that attracts lowlifes. You'd probably like it. Me? I'm not really that going out type. Always too much to be done around here. Plus the dead are just easier to get along with.
Well, I can believe that. Kind of would be nice if I could comment something about that specifically, but there's just these certain questions. I'm not 100% sure if I should be asking all of these. At least I'm gonna be asking this at where Sham was actually killed. But on the other hand, I suppose I could be asking all of these questions as she is curious. So on the take, who's paying to hold his leech?
I don't know, but someone with some major pool has been looking out for McLucky's career and wallet.
Well, what are the organs even worth these days? If someone is collecting these kind of organs, it's kind of interesting.
A full healthy body can be worth a pounds of noon, but individual organs? Not worth as much anymore, what with all the Sund and Cyber stuff on the market these days. Organ grinders only deals in recently deceased. There's plenty of other shops that aren't as picky though, and they don't care where the bodies come from either.
So, suppose I can also ask this when he was killed with the scalpel, so who still uses scalpels?
Doctors still learn how to use them in their first year of medical school, as do coroners, but neither profession uses them much anymore. It's possible some of the similar shops still use scalpels, I suppose, but I wouldn't know where to look.
Okay, so I just need to know one more thing. Where was Sam killed? Dresden looks up at you intently for a moment before speaking.
You know, I might be able to do you one better. Why don't you poke around those body lockers in the back and see if you find anything? Useful.
Well, thank you very much. I suppose I kind of already did it, but... okay then, I'll go do that. I suppose I don't really want him to find out that what I had already kind of done. I suppose it means that, nevertheless. Open mortuary drawer. So that, okay. So not those, but that. Alrighty. The gold storage drawer labeled John Doe, but the internal thermos is set to 21 degrees Celsius. Open the drawer. The gold storage drawer opens to reveal the fully clothed body of a man, arms folded across his chest. In addition to sporting some of the brightest orange hair you've ever seen, the body seems to be in a very good condition. Jake Amidad. Whoa, easy there. Right, that's interesting. In one quick move, he jumps down from the drawer and stands before you. For someone who just woke up in a morgue locker, he seems unfazed and pretty well put together. You spot a data check drill into his temples and some schematic statues peeking above his collar. An interesting combination. I told John to wake me up at 6 in the morning. Is it 6 yet? It doesn't feel like 6 yet. Doesn't feel like 6 yet. I don't actually know how much the clock is. What do I look like? A damn alarm clock? What would I respond to that? That someone just would jump from there and be alive. Would I be phased of it or not? Well, I suppose I wouldn't be this phased, or what would be the right word? Well, as surprised, but I suppose it would be good. Sorry, didn't expect you to be so alive. Yeah, Dresden thinks he's pretty funny. You're not the first person he's pulled this one on. He chuckles. Well, so much for a good night's sleep. On the plus side, I noticed you haven't killed me yet, so that's good. If you aren't after me, then what's your story? Alright, well, I'm not after you. Well, I'm looking into the latest Ripper victim. I'm not sure really if I want to be that friendly, nevertheless that I would just be asking. I suppose that I'll just say that when the dwarf sent me to him that I'll be asking the questions. No, I don't really know if that's the right way for her to act. I suppose I could say this. It's a little bit more, well, it says his name and not just the Ripper victim. On the other hand, well, I'm gonna be saying this. I'm looking into the death of Sam Vance. The coroner seems to think you can help me out. Sam, glad somebody cares. Used to drink together every now and then. Or at the union, decent enough guy. Always in trouble or something or other though. Jake yells towards the other side of the room. Sharon, is the lady cool?
Yeah, she's on the level. Working for Sam, believe it or not. Some sort of dead man's witch. I thought you could help her out. Maybe even stop moping around the shop all day.
Thanks all for volunteering me. He pauses. Might be sizing you up, but it's hard to tell behind those shades. Alright then, the name's Jake, and you are... I'm still waiting for the ending of your story. I kind of want to know a little bit more than just that to actually be saying my own name. I think in this situation when this is a little bit shady area and he just came out of a Slap, basically. I'm still waiting for the ending of your story. Fair enough. Well, it sounds like you're taking a dive into the deep end here. John's right. I might be able to help you out. I was with Sam the other night. The night of the murder, Burkeye. He was hanging at the seamstress union that night. Tripped out and roady. I've been laying low there for a few days after a bad run. Mrs. Kubota asked me to throw Sam's out. So I did. But out in the alley, some gangster got the jump on me. He winches. Damn, maybe I need some Sokyo after all. Soy cough, after all. John, could you grab me a cup?
Get your own damn cup. My hands are dirty anyway. Now what's wrong with the intestine?
You hear a loud cussing sound as Dresden continues his work. Thanks, John, you're a real pal. Anyway, there's a big fat corp pounding on my head. Like I said, my last job didn't exactly go according to plan. Out in the alley, a few Halloweeners got the jump on us. The gangsters thought they could turn a quick profit off my head. Jake smiles, and you get the impression that didn't work out so well for the gangsters. Sam stumbled off during the fight, though, and that's the last I saw him. Until he turned up here, dead on arrival. Reminds of my last day in this place. Great, so you know anything about his death. Well, it is pretty little that he does know, but... Well, I don't know if I really care if he's done this more or not, on the other hand. But I do want to know if he knows anything more, so do you know anything else? I know they found his body a block away from the Union, just lying there in the broad daylight. That's the parents for you. Jake looks down, his expression masked by chrome and crimson clash. Same though. Wish I'd been there if those lacking gangsters hadn't come along. Tell you what, you look like you can handle yourself in a fight. I could use some backup to settle the score with those Halloweeners out there. The leaders got to pull gangsters into parents for me. I need to get rid of that asshole. In return, I'll take you to the place Sam was murdered. It's not safe to hit these streets alone at night, trust me. Jake eyes you up and down, and maybe I'll throw in some decent supplies while we're at it. What do you say? Well, he has quite a lot of all kind of weird gadgets on him, but which would not make him an ideal partner for her, but on the other hand, it said that he knew Sam, and if he wants to also kind of get to the Sam's killers and actually doesn't know about the reward sum of money that I have kept to myself, that I would be rewarded with such a high amount of money, it probably would be a good idea to have him alone. Nevertheless, I know that it's a dangerous street, so better to have someone to look at your back. And I suppose this is nevertheless more of a... Well, of course I still have to be a little bit careful, not trusting people too easily, as said. Can never know if he actually is Sam's friend or maybe one of the reasons that Sam died, so, but I suppose we're gonna be taking him along, so yeah, well, this would be kind of a good thing to actually say, because I don't like straight justice that much. When it's necessary, but as said, likes to solve things in other ways, and I'm not really... Well, this would be other one, but this I think is the biggest issue here, because especially when I just remembered the night when that one guy, he was new Jake or whatever, not new Jake, but new something. He betrayed us and Sam as well, and he just said that we have to be more careful with our friends, so I think I'm gonna be saying this. It's nice to have someone watching your back out there, assuming you can trust them. I get it, gotta be careful in this trade. I'm not one to go back on a deal though. John can't vouch for that. Plus, you know what I'm hiding out, right? Where I'm hiding out, right? Doesn't leave me a lot of room to sell you out. Okay, well, yeah, I know that he's hiding here. What do you say? Okay, no other choices and then just the two of these. I don't know if I really want to be getting involved with just... I'm not really 100% sure if those guys were then one of the reasons that Sam got killed, but I suppose it is the case now then. So even though I'm mostly not gonna be doing any street justice that much, but well, I did say that I would pay back for Sam's killers or the reasons that Sam got killed, so I suppose I will gonna be saying this. I do like a bit of street justice every now and then. Alright, Jake, count me in. Great, I've been hiding out here ever since to run in with those Halloweeners. Whiny bunch of gangster, but this threats of the parents is their turf. Hell, I'm surprised you even made it to this morgue in one piece without packing some heat. He yells over his shoulder.
Very funny, Jake. You can sleep in the dumpster tomorrow.
So you need a weapon? No melee, definitely no melee. Pistol I suppose could be one, or SMG. I don't know if I can actually use this. But I would like to be keeping my distance, so I suppose we could be asking about a rifle, but yeah, I would certainly like to keep my distance to the enemies. You don't like library windows, do you? Never mind, here's a rifle you can borrow. So ready for an evening out on the town? Okay. If you're buying. Just a minute, tell me more about these gangsters first. I think I want to be knowing a little bit more about them, nevertheless, before we go out. Well, they're one of the nastier gangs in town. Their symbol is a flaming jack-o'-lantern, but you wouldn't like their version of trick-or-treating very much. Around they're here led by a troll named Sean Paul. He's got all Halloweeners and their parents looking for me. We take him out, maybe I can breathe a bit easier. Alright, I suppose. I'm not really 100% sure if I should now then agree on to this or not, but I suppose I didn't. There was the option of asking to be paid, but I don't know, maybe if I would have then clicked that I could have gotten out of the conversation, but I'm not really sure now then. Well, I'm not gonna be saying this, nevertheless, again reminding him. I already said that if you can trust them, so not gonna be again reminding that don't make me regret this, but well, he does end it quite nicely to the, well, or did end before, so evening out, so if you're buying, hey, I've already provided the party favors. Yeah, you did give a... We can leave whenever you're ready. Okay. Can I look at my... I got 2 karma points now. That's nice to know. I suppose I can use this. Assault rival in the world. But yeah, I definitely rather would like to be in the back. So yeah, that's nice. So what do you have then? You have a pistol. And you have spells... though as well, actually. Aim, heal wound, you're a mage, yeah. You're a mage. But suppose we're gonna get along pretty well. I don't know if I should be spending some of this karma or not. I suppose I could have a look what options there would be or 2. Of course, nothing like this. What could we have here? Maintaining of control, but that's not really spell. Can equip air barrier, increases spell book slot if not yet unlocked. I suppose we could take this, see what kind of a thing that is then. These are then fire barriers, hellstone barriers, something like that. Let's take that. Confirm. So, we'll see how that will work out. At the moment we do not have any spells. Why did we have slow before? I'm not sure. Or do we have to be buying some certain item for those spells then? I don't know really. You're just gonna be following me then, I suppose. Yeah. I don't think... Well, I don't know if I can take this without them getting mad. I'm not gonna be picking those items because that was at least when no one was looking. But taking this in here and out in the open would be a little bit... Well... I don't think it would be the right thing to do. So okay, let's get out then. I feel a little bit weird that I cannot select both of these characters, I do have to say that. Oh well. Head out into the Barrens, confirm. Well, let's see then what will be happening around here. The Redmond Barrens. Run in the Seattle sprawl and sooner or later you'll find yourself in the Redmond Barrens. It doesn't matter your business. The Barrens doesn't like you. Take 1 part radioactive wasteland, 3 parts dog-eat-dog slum, and a dash of tourist trap, and you've got a recipe for mean as hell. You leave the sanitized dead and formaldehyde of organ grinders behind, entering the anarchy and desperation of the streets. Jake stops a moment to breathe deeply, filling his lungs with motorcycle exhaust, radioactive dust, cordite, and who knows what else. He exhales with an expression of wry contentment. The stench and crime tell him he's home. Alright, I suppose I'll be ending the this episode here, so I hope you enjoyed this talking, and I'll see you next time.